Hello everyone, welcome back to Fanblade. The weather's cleared up, so it's time to do woodwork. I want to get through 4 instruments for the duration of the lockdown. I'm going to do an SG-inspired guitar for my friend who gave me this piece of wood and 3 others just like it. They are bed ends, lovely bits of mahogany. There's beautiful figuring on this one. So I'm going to glue a bunch of mahogany together and make him an SG. The SG-inspired guitar. Here is the neck that I've been working on for it. It's a Quilla fingerboard, and I believe that's a Tasmanian red oak neck. Yeah, this is ready for carving. It's got the radius and the frets and everything marked out, so that's going to go on there and be an SG-inspired instrument. While I'm talking about SGs, I want myself a short-scale SG style bass. So I'm going to make one of them. I don't have anything built for that yet. I'm going to have to start that one from scratch. The reason I want a short-scale bass is because I borrowed a friend of mine's short-scale. He had a Mustang bass, and I played that at a gig, and it was just fun. It was just fun. They're fun to play. I actually wanted an Epiphone EBO, but no one will sell me one because, I don't know, people just like them. They want to hang on to them. I tried one out, and I loved everything about it. Just felt good. Sounded dreadful though, so I'll stick a bridge pickup in it to give it a fighting chance. But I feel like that's going to be an instrument that I can gel with, and I'm going to have to make it from scratch because you can't go to the shop and buy one anymore, can you? So while I'm talking short scale instruments, here is a body blank that I started building some time ago. This is a shape that I've used for some electric ukuleles and some mandolins and some other bits and pieces. It's quite a nice shape. It's very versatile. It lends itself to lots of things. And this is just a spear that I had cut out of a piece that was left over that was big enough to do, and so I did that. Not quite thick enough. Going to have to put a drop top on it. I'm going to book match this piece of Remu here and make up that thickness. This piece of wood here, this neck blank, is a piece of curly oak. I was very lucky to be given this piece, and this will make a fine neck, but it's too nice wood. It's too nice to cut off for a mandolin, so it's going to be a short scale guitar. The reason why I want to try this is because I have a friend who is a music teacher, and he has a lot of 10 to 15-year-olds, just kids, trying to play full-size Fender basses. It's hard for them to do it, because they are small people, they need smaller instruments. So I'm going to use this as a prototype for some smaller instruments. If this turns out to be a viable guitar and kids like it, then absolutely, I can make a bunch of these because they're small, they're easy to do. And this one in particular is going to have some very fine wood on it. I might even try some interesting things with the fingerboard, but I'll talk to you about that if I can be bothered. The last instrument that I'm going to build is the final version of the 5-string bass that I filmed last year. Here is the neck. Here is the top of the body, is the other piece of this Remu. This is all beautifully figured wood. By the time that's book matched, it's going to look absolutely stunning, but that's not got enough thickness on its own, so what I'm going to do is make the rest of the body blank out of an old piano. Now, I've complained about old pianos in the past. I will not stop complaining about them. This is the only part of the piano that's actually usable for guitar building. They're the structural frames from the back of the piano. They are a real pain to get them out of the piano. They are a pain to machine them flat. They have holes and things in them. Being at the back of the piano, chances are most of them are full of borer. These ones are okay. But if you can get through all of that and then dispose of the entire rest of the piano, then you've actually got some usable wood. I need to resaw this and glue it together. I've actually got a few of these, so I will be machining up as much as I need to make the rest of the body blank to put this top on. Then, once I've book matched this piece, I can glue this top on, I need to glue these bits of wood together, and then I need to build necks and things and stuff and sawdust and rock and roll. Right, let's get cracking. Alrighty then, got the body template made, so I can make a guitar and a bass out of that shape there. I measured it exactly so that with that right up against that end there, then there is enough wood to do two. Just to minimise the amount of wasted wood. We don't want to be wasteful in this world. So we come to the problem of removing the finish. Now, this is shellac. It's kind of tough to remove. You can't really sand it off because it heats up and just gums up your sandpaper. You waste a lot of sandpaper on this. It's a very thick coat as well, and the shops aren't open for me to go and buy more sandpaper, and it would be a waste of money anyway. Scrapers won't really touch it. You can't really heat it up and use a scraper either because it just glues the scraper down. We're going to have to go chemicals. Going to need some acetone, which means we're also going to need a respirator and some gloves. So there you go. It comes off pretty easily. You do have to be a little bit careful. That scraper was digging in just a little bit here and there. This has now got only a very thin layer of shellac on it now. I can sand that off without wasting all of my sandpaper. And for extra hipster points, I'm going to reuse the shellac on the final instruments. This is completely recyclable and reusable. You just melt it down with a bit of acetone and wipe it on your guitar. This beautiful piece of wood here, and its less beautiful counterpart, are going to be two instruments, a guitar and a bass. I have to be a little bit careful because of the original construction holes there. Luckily, they just miss where the neck is coming through there. The ones at the bottom, however, don't, so I'm going to have to glue everything that way just a little bit. I do have some extra room on this side to do that, and that should be fine. If I come that way a centimetre or so, then we'll miss those dowels completely. And yes, this is going to work lovely. It's glue time. Right, well that's pretty much it for now. Yes, I'll let that cure overnight, and tomorrow we will chop it up and hopefully take a look at some necks. Thanks very much for watching. See you tomorrow.